Hey, Mark. How you doing, buddy? Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Michael, Chad, Brad. Good evening, good evening. Whoa, you're pouring in. Long time no see. Sheesh, we've had a rough time, guys. We were building up to the excitement of Easter. And by Palm Sunday is when the first of us started taking sick. And we've just been going through it one after the other. Sometimes all at once, a couple of us at once, another couple. It's been rough. Not a lot of shop time. Okay, a little choppy, but I saw when I turned it on there, I seen the computer said memory usage a little low or something like that. So I closed out any other tabs I had open. So hopefully we have no trouble here. It looks like to me like kind of diminished, like a little bit lower quality. But I've been here waiting for probably 10 minutes or so for the stream to start. And so I thought I'd jump on this. I brought this guitar down here probably a month ago now, and I really enjoy playing this guitar at home, but it needed a reset. I did a bunch of work on this guitar earlier this winter. I think probably right after Christmas. I did a bunch of work on it. It actually came with the top broken, so I had to do some pretty heavy work. It was really challenging, but a lot of fun. And my initial setup, although super playable, once the guitar settled in, it was kind of off, bunch of fret buzz. So I needed to do a reset there. But thanks for coming in and saying hi to me. I'm coming over there on the bench in just a minute. But if you'll give me just a couple minutes to finish this up here, so I can get these on, get them stretching. But how's everyone doing? What's all the news? What's all the excitement? You can see now where did I put that new string? Can any of you tell me where I put that new string? Down on the floor somewhere, probably. Yeah, there she is. So today was actually Dad and I's first day of production, real production, of both of us here in about two weeks or so. It's been rough, I'm telling you, but we just took a massive load of packages. We were shipping for several hours this afternoon. A lot of packages that have been waiting to go out. I did a bunch of restorations this week and some custom work since Dad wasn't around in the shop. But we're all feeling good now. And we're about to have a power outage for the next 2 days, scheduled power outage. Do a guitar setup video? I don't think I'm the person for that. I kind of fumble my way through. Okay, we'll let those stretch for a little bit. We'll give a rough tune Not a little bit, but I'm just trying to let that neck settle in. And I can see we flattened out. We were kind of a little bit over adjusted, so we had a bunch of fret buzz. Oh yeah, I can see that quality is low tonight, which is too bad since I'm all decked out. Can you see? Can you read that? Chad, I've been getting made to feel guilty, and I had a couple comments talk about me using a respirator with a slight beard. So I said I'm going to have to shave the beard, and with a goatee like this, my respirator is actually big enough that it sits wide outside of my beard, so it can sit. Oh, very cool, Ariel. Very cool. Hi to your son. Hi to your son. Yes, Brad, we're excited to be all feeling better. Okay, vision is fine, a little funny on the audio. Yeah, we must have a little bit low, a little bit of poor internet here or something tonight. Yeah, I could see it's a little bit choppy, a little bit funny. But you can check out this hat, guys. If you didn't know, I put up merch on the site right before I believe we went off for. Well, that's what I'm just about to say, Steve. Just about to say. Right before I went off for Easter break, I put all the merch, the new merch on the website, and I have not made a post about it. I don't think I've really made an email about it. I haven't been on YouTube for a couple weeks, no videos, because we've just been sort of down and out. But there's hats there. And you guys have been buying it up. So even without pushing it out there, there's been, it's been doing well, and people have been excited. Lots of hats, shirts, sweaters, and hoodies going out the door. Only 2 of these in the red left. There's 2 up there right now, and I don't plan to restock, but I think they look awesome. I was a little bit shaky on the red. I didn't know how they would look, and when I got them in and got them embroidered, it's just such a nice hat. Mesh back, really nice look. There, it looks a little pinky on this camera, but it is like a dark cherry red. Even my coal black shirt looks a little charcoaly and dusty on camera. I did a photo shoot just this evening, because all what's gone up so far are like a mesh back, which is probably my preferred style hat. This is a really nice fitting hat. Man, what a handsome guy. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. That face is worth it. Oh, Brian and Steven here together. Imagine that. Imagine that. Enjoy, my friends. Ariel, I would love to. Let's make an attempt at it. But this is your kind of hard panel front mesh back hat, which is really cool. Might be what I would wear most. But we just got in what you'd call dad hats. So this is a soft drawback design. Very nice. And you can see the logo has changed from an outline to a solid, and then the Newfoundland in there. This is a black. Again, it looks kind of gray on the camera where it kind of washes out all the color. But that's the new black. This one I absolutely love. It looks white on camera. It's like tan with like a chocolate brown stitching. Really, really sharp. Navy with silver stitching. And then if you're getting back into that trucker style, like for Chad here, we have navy and white. So this is the same model hat as I'm wearing here in red, but this is the navy and white but look how slick that is. What do you like better in terms of logo? I really like the Newfoundland in there, but both are awesome. This is, of course, a little simpler, a little more understated. I think both are real cool. This is the original style in the tan with the silver stitching. Again, real subtle. And this, probably the best seller right now. Keep in mind, dad hats aren't up on the site yet, but we have the charcoal gray. And this is the gray on gray with the silver stitching. This is the best seller so far. And the blacks. Blacks are our big seller as well, but just really excited to be sending those out. Of course, every piece that goes out is a walking billboard as well. So although I haven't really figured out how to make any real money on merch, because the clothing costs money, and the embroidery and printing and that kind of stuff costs money. You know, it's not cheap, and you're moving stuff around. It's hard to quantify the value of a walking billboard going around in California or Chicago or any of these places, right? That's a beautiful thing. I also got, Dad and I, a full set of these heavy work shirts. Got them engraved. We've got a couple coats. Just really happy. Just having a lot of fun, guys. We're really excited to get some of that in. Okay, Ariel, thanks for the feedback. Okay, interesting. So Ryan likes the first design, but he does really like the Newfoundland added in there. Got it. The button down is real nice. Real happy with these. No plans, unless you guys get on my case about them. I don't plan to sell these. These are for me and Dad here in the shop. Just because when you're doing shop work like this, you wear out a lot of clothes. So it's nice to have kind of dedicated clothes where you wear those same kind of pieces every day. You know, if you've got a good pair of canvas work pants, you just put those on just for the shop, and you wear them day in, day out. And it doesn't matter if epoxy gets on them and they get filled with aluminum shards or little welding pinholes. They're your workshop pants. Doesn't really matter. So that's fun. Yeah, Chad, a uniform, so to speak. I think it's nice. Looks professional. The hat by the strap. Yeah, they are a draw style for the dad hats. What do you guys prefer? If you could go ahead and shoot a comment there. Do you prefer the hard style, like trucker hat, mesh back, or the more soft style dad hat? What is your preference? Going back to my red. Chad says it makes me look all young and cute. He didn't add the cute, or he didn't say cute. I added that, but I'm just assuming. I appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out. What's new in your life? Do you have any questions for me? Okay, Chad likes the dad hat. The higher profile of the mesh back. Yeah, these dad hats actually are a fairly deep bucket as well. Pretty well as deep as these mesh backs here. They're not like a real low profile, sit on top of your head type hat. The boat project is coming along really, really well. We're getting along. And I'm filming. I've got hordes of footage right now, and I'm trying to get the next video out. And my plan was to do it over the weekend and get it up for you guys on Monday. We'll see. Like I said, we've got power outage Saturday and Sunday, so that kind of makes things a little bit difficult. Okay, Ariel, the trucker style hat is kind of the standard out there. Here it kind of depends. I would say here in Newfoundland, the pattern, or at least in my area, the pattern you see a lot is kind of like the little bit more aged fellas wearing the softer hats like that. And the fellows my age and younger are wearing like the trucker style hat like this. That's what we're seeing. Andrew, okay, the soft style with the Newfoundland on it. I'm really happy. They're not up on the site yet, but they should be up. I'm thinking Monday. Again, I can't, unless I get on tonight or really early tomorrow morning, they won't be on there for the weekend because of the power outage. But you can head over right now to knknives.ca and you can purchase various colored t-shirts and some different hats and this beauty red right here, all available on the site. But the new soft style ones and the new mesh back in the navy and white will be up there within the next few days. But I'm super excited about the boat series too. I've been welding. You'll see that I eventually bring out the spool gun for a bit of work. For most of the project, I didn't, but I started really struggling with the TIG in certain locations on the console. I just couldn't get in there. And it was just tough. So I said, I'm going to have to get this spool gun out because this is driving me crazy. I just couldn't get any sense of, because I'm in angles like this. And Michael, I'm not sure if you're still here, Michael. Michael recommended a TIG torch that I should have. I have this, just the standard one. So it's probably this long on the back. So it just doesn't fit well. I think he called it a roto torch or something. He sent me a link for it, but there's just not much room. I was really struggling. So I pulled out the spool gun where, you have a nice long end and I could just get in there and I'm real happy with the welds that came out of that in those tough places. And it's much dirtier. It's faster though. Which I like. It's working. I'm using a combination. Right now. And it's going well. You're going to see some footage rolling out real soon. Yeah, even a stubby tail would be really helpful. Although I'm not sure how much I could get away with. My electrodes must be 6-7 inches for sure, I would think. Okay, Ariel, yeah. The granola hipster. I know the cohort of people that you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about there. Any more black truckers coming along? Yes, they will be. They will be coming. I'm trying to think. Do I have them with this batch now? Are they sold out on the website already? I'm not. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you what's up there in stock right now. Mark says, I can only marvel at the enormous range of skills you have. I've been very fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to try cool things and to try new things. And I've never been afraid to try new things either. Of course, that's a big part of it, that when the opportunity comes up to try something new, that I jump on it, And that's like this project here. I have only, before this project, I'm not sure if I said this in a video or an episode that you've already watched, or if it'll be in the one coming up. But before this project, I had only welded aluminum a couple times. I tried my spool gun 2 or 3 times just for projects where I was forced to use it. I had TIG welded aluminum maybe a half dozen times with reasonable success. Enough, I had done just enough where I said, I'm going to take this project on. I'm going to buy all my materials and I'll have no choice but to get through it. After spending $1,500, $2,000 in aluminum, I have no choice but make it happen at that point. And so I just started, and it was a real rough start, But by this point in the project, I feel every time that I put on my helmet, I feel confident going to the aluminum. Occasionally, I'll still run into some trouble, and I can't quite figure out, why I can't get this bead down right now. And I'm getting competent with, it's just a little bit dirty. Let me change my settings. Let's clean it up a little bit more. But this project will make me an aluminum welder, not to the degree of Michael J.M. there, or maybe Chad. I think Chad does a nice bit of aluminum as well. Not to that degree, but it will make an aluminum welder out of me. And I'm confident that as years go on down the road, I'll maintain that skill set just because I'm always kind of keeping around it. The same thing goes with, playing the guitar, or I kind of throw myself into situations where do or die. And of course, I learn a lot like it. It's great. Very nice, Tyler. Very nice. The shipping has definitely been delayed just because of the way things have worked out here. It's unfortunate. We try to keep, within the week for like website orders, try to keep within the week pretty consistently. But we're a couple weeks behind right now. So today was a really great push, really set us up well. Got any more questions for me here tonight? I don't know how long I'll be on here tonight. It's been a long week. I'd like to head home with my wife before too long, but it's nice. I got to the point this week, before I leave the boat project, I actually have the boat sitting out there right now. Haven't touched it. We're not at that point. I won't give any teasers like that. Haven't touched it. Just got it out of storage because I needed to put the snow blade in where the boat was being kept and that type of thing. But I said I might as well put it out in the shop so it's there. But I ended up drilling and mounting some of the lighting products this week because that's part of the fabrication stage. If I'm going to put on a set of running lights, my red and green nav lights, then I want to drill all those holes and have it done and in place now. And then we'll take them off and put them back in the box. And later on, after we're done and all fitted, and whether it's paint or whatever we do to coat it, when we're all done, we can go back. And now we're not drawing on our console and drilling and risking tearing stuff up. We can just go back and mount everything. So whether or not there might be light pods going on, I can't reveal that information. Whether there might be a light bar, any other accessories, we don't know what's going on there yet. But, I drilled, I planned for cable routing, wire routing, that type of thing. I could have used some of your guys' skill sets for sure here while I was at that. But I'm having fun. You guys know that I really like, trinkets and lights and gadgets and things like that. Love that stuff. Like we did on the flatbed build project. If you haven't seen that series, I recommend you check it out on my YouTube channel. But it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. For the flatbed, we did the running lights up on top and all the running lights running around the bed. And we had the backup cameras and what else did we throw in there? The VHF radio we had in the flatbed. Some of you guys will remember more than me, but it's just, I love that kind of stuff. It just brings so much joy to me to have those kind of things in the vehicle. So it's just fun. I plan to do the same thing with the boat project. Andrew, I'm sure my girls will work right into those types of jobs as they grow up in the future. I'm sure, here in these rural areas, or here where I am in particular, a lot of kids, a lot of teens go out and get jobs, base level jobs in food service industry or Walmart or Target, or I can't even think. These types of jobs are common, but that doesn't exist around here. There are so few businesses. There's a couple stores and a gas station. So you don't have much of that. And so my girls, God willing, will have the opportunity when they get old enough to work into jobs here, like shipping or leather work or leather stitching and things like that. I'm really excited for that part of the parenting journey. I'm really excited. Strapped and dangerous. California knife law factoid. Concealed folding knife of any size is lawful. Mini T in a pocket sheath is unlawful. Self-explain. Okay, so concealed fixed blades are illegal here in Canada as well, but what do you call concealed? That's kind of where the line is a bit iffy here. Like I wear my mini tradesman all the time, but I would not call this concealed. This is a little more visible than even a pocket folding knife. So I wouldn't call this concealed. Here, we would call concealed like it was big a few years ago. You know, these credit card knives where you pull the blade out of a credit card, just looks kind of like a credit card, a little bit thicker. And then you have those belt buckles where you pull a dagger out. Those types of things that are where the knives are designed to be hidden, that no one can find them. They're concealed inside of a belt or that type of thing. That's a problem. But if it's just a knife that's in your pocket, that's not intentionally designed to be secretive or deceptive, there's no problem with it here. I don't know how it is where you are. Andrew Moss, welcome, buddy. We've got to get a knife or two over to Andrew Moss Outdoors right away. He's got a cool channel. You should check him out. But we're gonna send a couple blades over there and get him out in the woods. He has some good food around the campfire. Reminds me of my early days on YouTube for sure. Really? Is the Vandura still on the go, the flatbed? Does it still belong to the guy that bought it off of me? Does he still have it, or has it moved on again? I wouldn't mind seeing it. It's quite a few years now. We're along in time. It's hard to believe. Very nice adventures. Very nice. Are you doing this Buck 110 project yourself? You're ripping into it yourself, you mean? Chad, yeah, that's my goal. Drill and plan and map it all out now. I was even running the wire loom and making sure, like, where am I going to put this loom? How am I going to keep this loom in place? Those are things that were afterthoughts when I did the Vandura build, the flatbed build project. And it really bit me because it caused a bunch of trouble, and I couldn't do it just how I wanted because I didn't want to disrupt the work I had already done. So I'm trying to do that on this project. That was definitely a learning process for me. Yeah, if you guys could hit the thumbs up, that'd be great. Wade, yeah. He's got what are those old Jeeps that he really loves? I can't remember the name of them now. Oh, she's still in great shape running. That is fantastic. Those big anchor cleats on the flatbed. Man, that was a fun project. A lot of work, but really fun. I can't believe I took that project on, not even having a garage to put it in. Looking back now, I don't think I would have the moxie to do that. Still he drives it to work every day, daily drives it. Man, I wouldn't mind Get behind the wheel of that thing again for an hour. Okay, strapped and dangerous is a gray enough to give a cop reasonable cause to stop you. Yeah, perhaps that would be the case here. I don't suspect you'd get any kind of trouble or really bothered. I don't know if our police force really looks for those types of things here. I can't imagine they would notice. Maybe. But we do not have fixed blade size limits here. As to my understanding at this point, there are no blade length restrictions for fixed blades here in Canada. You could technically carry a 15-inch dirk, Scottish dirk on your hip. And I don't think, other than you would draw attention, and people would probably call the police because they're uncomfortable and you'd be bothered, but I don't think they'd have any case. Technically, it's legal. Sean McGrath from Rhode Island, restoring a boat. Very nice. I'm just going to Google that right there. Geenoe. Geenoe. Let me pull up Google Images. Oh, interesting. That reminds me of kind of the way the nose is done. What do they call them? Like the Gander River boats or something? The Exploits Valley, or the Exploits type, kind of with the sharp upturned nose. That's what we're looking at. Very cool. That's too bad, Mark. That's tough to see. I suspect we'll see something similar here in Canada within, a decade or so. Well, I can't say that. Not to that degree, but to see age limits like that or size restrictions come into play, I wouldn't be surprised if some of those things come in. But we, in 2017, 2017, I believe it was, Canada put a prohibition on the personal import of assisted opening knives. So spring assisted knives, flipper knives, anything that could open really quickly, like one hand flick open. They put a prohibition on import, which is really shady because businesses can still import them and sell them within Canada. And if you already own them within Canada, you can carry them and use them. There's no problem. But I, or one of you personally, can't send them in. Border Services, CBSA, will grab them. You'll probably lose them. There's some chance you could get them shipped back to you in the U.S., but in most cases, they're gone. You'll lose them. It's too bad. I would do a lot of sharpening of those types of folders sent up from the U.S., but that's been kind of cut out now. And I advise, I still get lots of requests. Hey, I've got a zero tolerance, whatever. I've got this knife. I've got that knife. Can I send it up for stone sharpening? And I say, I don't recommend you take the chance. You might lose your knife. Fixed blades, no problem. Whatever you want to send. There's never been any issue raised. Folders, they're a little sticky on it right now. Oh, Blue Dog, very nice, very nice. Thanks for sharing. Chad says he carries a knife on his hip 30% of the time, a pocket clipped in the other 70% of the time. Never had an issue. Yeah, me neither, buddy. Never been questioned. All my years in university, I spent 5 years, I believe, maybe 5.5, 6 years in total on university campuses, and always carried 1 or 2 pocket knives. And I wasn't shy about pulling it out either. If I wanted to pull it out to pick at my nails in class, or if I was eating in the cafeteria, I'd pull it out. And I never got questioned. Nobody ever mentioned it. It was just pretty normal. No one had an issue. But I kind of like, pushing a little bit like that just to see. You find out a lot about people like that. Does that make them uncomfortable? Right? I received a couple comments over the years. I think it was questioned a couple times just by other students, kind of turn their eyes a little bit crazy. Why would you have that? A really useful tool. Why wouldn't I have that, right? It's very convenient. Very convenient. So why wouldn't I? Are the knife laws standard across the provinces, or like here where every state has their own laws? No, I think knife laws are federal here. So they're the same right across the board, right across Canada. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for backing me up on that, guys. Brad, yeah, I've been carrying a knife for a very long time now, and it's just so useful. And I've got to say, if you don't mind me bringing it up, I have used and abused this knife probably more than any knife that I've ever had. I do not spare this thing at all because, for one, it's a little bit of a test point for me, and I could just put it backwards in the sheet. Do you see that? But I've just beat on this thing so much. Anything I can pry with it, and it has been eye-opening when you get a knife, because when I'm carrying, my Spyderco Dragonfly or my Benchmade Osborne, or these, the 940, or some of my other Spydercos, whatever it might be, you just never feel like thrashing on it. You have to open a paint can. Why would I use my knife? Let me just go get a pry tool. Or you have to wedge open a door lock, or wedge off a door facing for something, or I don't know, whatever. But having this knife, I've really adopted the persona after the first couple times of really thrashing on it and it just holding up so well. I've really adopted the perspective that I'm just going to do everything with this knife that I want. Hey, Michael. Hey. Now me and Dad got enough put in our funds for a real meal. We're going out for buffet. Thanks so much, buddy. Thanks so much. Michael coming in with what do you call it? The super chat, I think it's called. Thanks so much. But I took on the perspective that I'm going to do whatever I want with this thing, and let's just see what a pocket fixed blade is capable of. And just today, I'll give you an example. I was welding with the MIG gun. I was welding on our big flat deck trailer here. One of the fenders had broken off, and I had a bad ground when I started, and when I hit the trigger, a big coil of wire came out. And I looked, and I didn't have my cutters. They were over right there. And I ripped the knife out of my pocket, and I put the wire down across the steel beam on the trailer, and I just whacked. And I just chopped off the copper wire and chopped into the steel fender. And I didn't give it a second thought. And it's sort of become a little bit of a game. And of course, I know I make the knives and I can rebuild them. And you guys are paying between $200 and $300 for them. And you don't feel like maybe you wouldn't want to do that. Yeah. Right. Michael says he wouldn't do that with his I get it. I have the privilege that I build them, and if I want, I can pick another one out of the shop. But I will just make this point that you can run the knife just that hard, and it is phenomenal. And as I look here now, yeah, I've got a little dent, little very small mark in my blade, and I don't care. That's a easy sharpen repair. But that's how I've been using this knife, just ripping on it, and it's fun to see what it's capable of, and fun to see how much capability I can have with a pocket fixed blade like that. And it's getting, of course, it's getting a little bit knurled and a little bit busted and stuff, but I've just been pounding on it. And look how good it's holding up. I do not spare this thing at all. You can see there, you can see right, let me give a bit of shadow. Right there is the mark from chopping into the steel beam on the trailer today. That's the mark. On the side profile, almost invisible. You can see that little touch of light reflecting there. Very, very fun. Again, thank you, Michael, for the super chat. I appreciate you being here. Michael has sent, I think this is the third super chat now since we've been doing the live stream. And I'd say, like I said, I'd say me and Dad are up to a nice little meal now. I think that was the first one I was talking about, how great it was that Dad and I went on the road for a day running, business errands. And Michael sent, I think it was like $15 again, like he just sent. And he said, that's for, I think it was breakfast or something, or some food for you guys on the road, which was really fun. So we're up to more than a breakfast sandwich now. I appreciate that, Michael, buddy. The Kershaw, oh so sweet. No, I don't remember what I did. I think I gifted it to someone, but I loved that knife. That was a lot of fun. Wetterling's axe head. Boy, I sure was into axes for a while there. Sam, you have to check in with me, buddy. I'm not sure by your tag there just who you are, so I couldn't comment on your orders. Nurk, been carving spoons with your orange Osage Takamore. Fantastic. Great comment on the heat treat. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Oh, Michael. Oh, yes. We were putting part of your order together this evening. There's still a couple parts that last tradesman purchase, I think. That's been put on the list to start on Monday, I believe. But yeah, your order is very much together. Tyler Fernandez, we did get your order with, I did get your email with your address, and we walked immediately upstairs before the live stream and printed that last shipping label for the day, and it's gone with the mail right now. So very, very excited. Brad's Mini Tradesman, I believe en route, buddy. Blue Dog sent you I saw that email about the Bowie knife. I haven't had the chance to sit down and study it yet. Michael, will do, brother. Thanks so much for hanging out here. Thanks so much for the super chat. Really appreciate you being here. Always a good contributor, Michael is. Michael, if you Michael's out on the west coast of Canada, and he is just a magnificent welder. You should see some of his work. And I believe, as I understand it, really does a lot of aluminum work. Real fancy stuff. They do like a lot of, they'll get a semi-truck in and they'll fit out the back with boxes and all this cabinets that just work hardly, that I can't hardly imagine putting together. And so Michael has been giving me some good coaching throughout this boat console project. and I've needed it, but it helps to have, sometimes with something like aluminum welding where there's a lot of different facets, a lot of different stuff going on. It helps to have someone with a lot of experience just bring things out to you. Well, like, just the difference between, let's say you're running a wire brush. Okay, so your wire brush, is it stainless? Well, no, it's just a normal cheap wire brush. Well, you don't want to be scrubbing carbon into your aluminum, right? And this one didn't come from Michael, I don't think, but I'm just trying to think of random facts here. What's your heat like? What's your frequency like? Is your filler rod too big? And on and on. There's so many different facets to consider. So it helps to just have someone checklist things with you. And I guess this is why it just popped in my mind. You have airline pilots, I believe. You have co-pilots, and I believe you have a checklist that you have to run through to each other. And so there's that accountability type thing, right? So easy to forget things on your own. But bit of acetone on the stainless brush, that's something I haven't considered. I was talking to Lincoln Electric, and they asked, if I needed anything for the project. I said, yeah, I need a couple good stainless brushes. And they sent me like a case of beautiful Lincoln stainless brushes. They've been so good to me. Just really great. What a great company Lincoln Electric is. It's they've taken care of me. They've really, really done me well. I really appreciate it. Yes, sir. You got a shipping email today. Beautiful package coming your way. Hey, Rocco. Better late than never, buddy. Appreciate you stopping in and saying hi. Taking a little break from the pooches. Oh, Sean is a jet pilot. How cool is that? A challenge and response checklist. Sean, am I on point there where you go back and forth in that way, and you're not just looking at your checklist yourself, but you're accountable to someone else for your checklist? So it's kind of a call out, and they're checking with you. So I guess you've gotten two people to confirm or question, right? A jet pilot. That's very cool. Oh, Sean, thank you for confirming. Very, very exciting. I just love aircraft. There's something, and apparently I'm not alone, because I see the reels that kind of poke fun at when men see aircraft. Just looking up because you hear the chop, 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 chop. And I'm definitely one of those people. If I'm in the house and I'm cooking or I'm reading or in my office and I hear that helicopter chop, I am running to the patio. And I call the girls too. Hey. And there's just kids coming everywhere, kids coming out of the doors. There's kids pushing stuff, tables over. It's just dozens of them. No, I've only got 4, but we're running. We're looking, waiting for it to come over for the ridge. We can hear that it's moving in the right direction. There's just something about aircraft. And helicopters in particular, I just adore. When we travel somewhere and there's an airport, we always go out, to see if we can see some jets land or see a helicopter land or take off, that type of thing. Very, very exciting. Sean, if you don't mind answering, you say you're a jet pilot. So would that be like a passenger jet? I don't know how many different categories are there, but would it be like a airline passenger jet, or what type of aircraft would that be? I've been watching Garrett Mitchell, Cletus McFarland, for a few years now, and he's been working. I've seen him work through getting his small, pilot's license. I don't know what you'd call it, but like small personal aircraft, and then his helicopter license. And it's just so exciting. It's just so exciting. You've got the little carbon cub, is it? I believe they're called. He's got a little helicopter. It's just so much fun. A private jet flyer. Isn't that something? Very cool. I've got to search that up now. The Phenom 300. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Thanks for being here, Sean. Thanks for sharing that with us. Andrew says he worked at Toronto Pearson International Airport for 9 years. That must be a crazy job. I've been through that airport a couple times in my life, only I think twice as an adult, and it is wild. I much prefer Deer Lake Airport, where there's, I think, one door, just one door. Everyone goes in and out the one door. Much more my style. Chad, you like Cletus? That's great. That's great to hear. I just watched their Road to Talladega series with the RVs. I was cackling out loud. Just guys having fun, you know. So many people just stop having fun when they grow up. They stop doing stuff just because it's fun. You know, what's the point when they could have just taken one of their very beautiful vehicles and just ripped down to Talladega very quickly and easily, or they could have just taken a flight down there very simply. But instead, him and his buddies bought 3 RVs for $5,000. That was their limit. And they took 4 or 5 days to travel down there. And it was just hilarious and just fun for the sake of fun. Just why not? And I think they had just the best time at it. Hey, Trevor. Trevor's watching from his cabin in the island out in the middle of Placentia Bay. One of your dreams is to fly over the islands here in a helicopter. Oh, I would love. I've never been in a helicopter, but I would love to go in one. Someday. I've said for years that someday I'm gonna. Probably when I get a little older and life gets a little simpler, I'm gonna take a couple years and work on my pilot's license, maybe my small aircraft license, like for a bush plane or a little float plane or something like that. I would love to do that. I'm not exactly sure how to go about it, but it's definitely one of my lifelong dreams or goals. Father and Son Outdoors. Hey, Tyler Fernandez. Good question. What kind of podcasts and music do you listen to while working? I listen to very little music anymore. I used to listen to a lot of tunes, a lot of music while working. Almost never, and don't let this make you feel bad or anything like that if you're a music listener while you're working. But at this point, when I spend a whole afternoon listening to music, I feel like I've wasted my time. And I think it's just that dialing in process of wanting to get the most possible from my time. And when I'm just bobbing my head to tunes, although it's relaxing and I feel great, the podcasts and things just keeps me active. And I learned so much this afternoon. You listen to 4, 5, 6 hours of business podcasts, your mind is buzzing. You've got new ideas, and I'm pulling out my phone and making notes. I've got to try that marketing strategy. I've got to try that with my videos, and it just feels like a lot more value for my time. So I would advise that. But I've been listening this year. I got into listening to Alex Hormozi. I've gotten so many cool things from Alex Hormozi. And I listen to a lot of theological podcasts, a lot of preaching and teaching, Bible teaching, those types of things. I usually enjoy more like exposition of the word and like hardcore teaching, stuff that you wouldn't usually find in a church that might be a little bit dry to listen to in church on a Sunday. But I really enjoy that type of podcast. Stuff that you'd sit down almost school-like, academic-like, and you'd open the word and you'd study and you'd have highlighters and pencils and you're sticking notes and that type of Bible study. I really like podcasts that are like that. It's a lot of fun. And of course, my faith and my progression in my faith and my knowledge of the word is really important to me. And so I just try to push myself in that direction. Flying a Cessna, very, very cool. Rocco says the Bake Apple XL that handles a thing of beauty. I really, really love the Bake Apple XL. I have not gotten to the point where I can stamp it on the website as this is a production model, but it is coming as a production model. It's going to be a regular offering because it's a winner. We actually finished up one and shipped out just today in some beautiful curly maple. Oh, so nice. It's just, you can get a hold of it. It's got the right dimensions, the right line. Ariel's sold. But I really appreciate you saying that, Rocco. Really appreciate it. Speaking of which, I've got a few knives here on the table I meant to show you guys. We've been yapping so much here about planes and boats that I haven't gotten a chance. Coming to the website this week. If you want to shoot me an email for either of these ahead of time before they get to the sites, please go ahead and do that. But the Bake Apples in that sweet curly maple are back. The new pocket clip sheaths are now available on the website. So if you already have a Bake Apple, you can purchase the pocket clip sheath. Or if you're ordering a new Bake Apple, you have the option to grab a pocket clip sheath with it. But we have... you really can't tell the color of this on the webcam. Isn't that interesting? Thick black micarta liner, really wild curly maple, forge finish. Really nice. And this color almost looks like that color on camera, but maybe you'll see the difference now. This is like a turquoise, a greeny blue, and this is like an electric blue, like an intense blue. And it is so, so beautiful. They're just really, really nice baked apples. They fit real sweet in the pocket clip sheath. Let's just show you going from mini T to bake apple. Look at that fit. The sheath is interchangeable for both, which I think is really, really nice. That's a nice feature. And then perhaps those are beautiful, and I love the baked apples. But let's show you something a little more unique. I have a couple of these. Look at that. I think I have two that may make it to the website unless they go before. But a couple handle configurations by Dad again. A thick black liner. We have a maple burl here. This is like a dark coffee color. Brass inlays there, you can see. Polished tang. Look at that gleaming. Heavy brass pins. Saber grind. Really, really nice. And then perhaps even more interesting, although no more beautiful, because I just think that's stunning. But I have a pair of mammoth tusk inlaid tuckamores. All brass hardware, and we have the mammoth tusk, that same thick black liner, the brass inlay. These are Tuckamores, Ariel. This one has a little lighter section of tusk here. And they're matched up with a black G10. You can see the figuring in the G10 there. Again, available. These two are available, or we have a few of each of those available as of right now. We'll see what happens over the weekend, but they'll be posted probably early next week if we get that far. The tube pin that has kind of come as on the recommendation of a number of you guys. I think Rocco, was it Rocco? I don't want to give take away someone else's credit. I can't quite remember, but I think it was Rocco that said, I think your tube pin should be standard on the Bay Capel. And when he said it, I immediately said, I agree 100%. I don't know why it hasn't been all along, but I agree 100%. And so that is standard from here on out. All of them will get that. Rocco, it's coming, buddy. It's coming. Your mini tradesman and double sheath. I'm pretty excited to put that together. Tips on sharpening a saber grind. I have so many videos, Tyler, on my YouTube channel. If you want to just go back to some of my older sharpening content, I have so many videos that cover sharpening a saber grind, because most knives are a saber or a flat grind with some type of secondary bevel. That's most knives. And so I just have a whole catalog of content on that. And I recommend you just start just watching through them. And I talk about pressure and grit and angles and how to place your body and how to place your hands and how to be consistent with your angles. And I think it'll really help you. Dylan Malone, thanks so much for saying that, buddy. That's good. Good luck. Good luck on your Strapped and Dangerous and Rocco duking it out. But yeah, good luck in trying to build your own knife. Wish you all the best. Be careful. You're playing with a lot of heat and fire. It's dangerous. It can be dangerous. Rocco, have you read the email I sent with my build list? I did read it just, I believe I read it today. I know I read it, but haven't got a chance to respond. Ariel says his first. Pin and lanyard tube. The pin, of course, is standard anyways, but I think what we're opting for on a handle this size is single pin, single tube. So you wouldn't have, like, the Takamura is a big enough handle to get pin tube. But you could just do, and I do occasionally on custom builds and things, do pin, and then I'd put a tube right here where this pin is. But for the Bay Capel, it will be pin tube unless a custom request. But guys, we're 5 minutes past an hour here, and I know my wife is waiting to see me, and I'd like to get home to her as well. Check out the website knknives.ca for some new merch, some knives, pocket clip sheaths. Custom orders are in works here all around the shop. Restoration works are in progress here all around the shop. I'm looking at a number of almost complete custom orders right here on the wall. We've got new hats coming to the site. Dad hats, all kinds of stuff. Trucker style mesh backs. Oh! Go ahead, shop at canknives.ca, have some fun. I appreciate you being here. Hit that like button if you would. Check out my boat project if you would, if you're interested. Some new content coming up on that. And I just really appreciate being back on here and hanging out with you guys. New content coming this week. And yeah. that happens, Rocco. We're working on it. Have a great night, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you hopefully on Monday. Thank you, Ariel. You enjoy those pooches, buddy. Have a great weekend. We'll be talking to you probably tomorrow.